Most people do it without even realizing it. You're in a conversation, things get a little tense, and your hand just goes up to your neck. And you didn't plan it. You didn't think about it. It just happened. And the person across from you, if they know what that means, just learned something about you that you never said out loud. Today, I'm going to break down exactly why people touch their neck when they're nervous, what it actually means when someone does it, and how you can use this to read people way more accurately in everyday life. Because once you see this, you can't unsee it. It's everywhere. Let's get into it. So before we even get into the neck thing specifically, we have to talk about why your body does stuff like this in the first place. Your brain has two main systems running at all times. You've got the part of your brain that you're aware of, the thinking, planning, choosing part. And then you've got the part that runs in the background, the automatic part, the part that keeps your heart beating, your lungs breathing, your eyes blinking. That background system, it's also in charge of your emotions and your physical reactions to those emotions. And the thing is, that system is way faster than your conscious brain. Way faster. So when something stressful happens, let's say you get asked a question you weren't prepared for, or someone challenges you in a meeting, or you're sitting across from someone you're trying to impress, your body starts reacting before your brain has even fully processed what's going on. Your heart rate picks up, your muscles tighten, and your hands start moving. And one of the most common places they move to, the neck. This is not random. There's a very specific reason the neck is the go-to spot, and it goes all the way back to how humans are built. Here's something most people don't think about. The neck is one of the most vulnerable parts of your body. It's where your airway is, it's where major blood vessels run, and it has almost no natural protection, no thick bone, no muscle armor, nothing like that. Think about animals for a second. When a predator goes in for the kill, where do they go? The neck, always. And our bodies, even though we've been living in cities and offices for thousands of years, still carry that ancient wiring. When we feel threatened, even emotionally threatened, not physically, our body treats it like a survival situation. And the reflex is to protect the neck. Now, we don't pull our collar up or cover our throat because a lion is walking into the conference room. But the signal still fires. And what comes out is this self-touching behavior. The hand goes up to the neck, sometimes the throat, sometimes the back of the neck, sometimes the collarbone area, all variations of the same thing. It's your body trying to comfort itself and protect itself at the same time. And this is the part I really want you to understand. This gesture is not a choice. Nobody decides to touch their neck when they get nervous. It's involuntary, which is exactly why it's so revealing. Let me give you some real examples so you can start spotting this. Imagine you're watching a job interview. The interviewer asks a normal, easy question, something like, "Tell me a bit about yourself." The person answers confidently. Hands are still, good eye contact, no problem. Then the interviewer says, "Walk me through a time when you failed at something important." Watch the hands. Almost immediately, before the person even starts talking, one hand drifts up to the neck. Maybe they touch the front of their throat. Maybe they run a hand along the side of their neck. Maybe they grab the back of it for a second before bringing the hand back down. That's the tell. That's the split second where their body said, "This is uncomfortable," before their mouth said, "Great question. Well, one time I..." You see this in press conferences all the time. Politicians, athletes, executives. The moment a journalist asks something they weren't expecting or something that hits a nerve, the neck touch shows up. And it happens so fast that most people in the room don't catch it, but now you will. Not all neck touches are the same. The location and the way someone does it actually tells you different things. The first one is touching the front of the throat, right around the Adam's apple area. This one tends to show up when someone is really uncomfortable with what they're about to say or what they're being asked. It's like the body is literally trying to cover the words before they come out. You'll see this a lot in situations where someone is being put on the spot or where they feel like what they say could get them in trouble. The second one is touching the side of the neck. This is a little more general anxiety. It's less about speech and more about overall stress. People do this when they feel overwhelmed or when they're processing something difficult. It's a self-soothing move. The skin on the neck is sensitive, and touching it actually has a mild calming effect on the nervous system. So, the body is literally trying to calm itself down. The third one is the back of the neck grab. This one is interesting because it often shows up with frustration more than pure nervousness. Think about that moment when you make a mistake and you just reach back and grab the back of your neck like, ugh, I can't believe I did that. That gesture is loaded with self-criticism or frustration. Sometimes it also shows up when someone feels like they're being put on the spot unfairly, like they're being judged or scrutinized. The fourth one is the collarbone touch, or the suprasternal notch touch. The suprasternal notch is that little dip at the base of your throat, right between your collarbones. Women touch this spot far more often than men. Studies have actually backed this up. And when someone touches that spot, it's almost always a sign of real discomfort, self-consciousness, or insecurity in that moment. It's one of the most reliable signs of emotional distress that body language has to offer. Okay, so here's where I want to get into why learning this actually changes things for you. Most of us go through conversations thinking about what's being said, the words, but the words are just one layer. Underneath that, there's the layer of how someone feels, what they're actually thinking, whether they're comfortable or not. And most of the time, that layer is way more honest than the words. People can control their words pretty easily. We rehearse things. We choose what to say. We can lie, we can spin things, we can avoid stuff. But we can't control the automatic reactions of our nervous system nearly as well. So if you're in a conversation with someone and you ask them something and they immediately touch their neck, even before they answer, you've just got a real-time signal of their emotional state. You know that question hit something. You don't know exactly what it is yet, but you know something is there. This is useful in so many contexts. If you're a manager having a one-on-one with someone on your team and you ask how things are going and they touch their neck right before they say, "Things are great," you know to dig a little deeper. Something's off and they're not saying it yet. If you're on a first date and you ask someone about their last relationship and their hand goes straight to their neck, you just learned something. There's some discomfort there. Maybe it ended badly. Maybe there's something unresolved. If you're in a negotiation and you put an offer on the table and the other person touches their neck before they say, "We'll think about it," they're not as neutral as they're pretending to be. Something about your offer got to them. Here's the thing I want to leave you with. Body language in general, and the neck touch specifically, is not about catching people lying or gaming conversations. That's the wrong way to think about it. It's about understanding people better. It's about seeing what's actually going on underneath the surface, so you can respond in a way that's actually useful. If you're in a conversation and you notice someone touching their neck, the right move isn't to think, "Aha, gotcha." The right move is to slow down, ask a follow-up question, create more space for them to talk, make the conversation feel safer. Because what the neck touch is telling you is that someone is uncomfortable in that moment. And if you know that, you have the ability to help ease that discomfort rather than push harder on it. The best communicators, is the people who are just really good with other people. They're constantly reading what's happening emotionally in a conversation, not just what's being said, and they adjust. They pull back when someone needs space. They lean in when someone needs support. They ask the right follow-up at the right time. Body language is a tool for connection, not manipulation. And once you start seeing it that way, it genuinely changes how you show up in conversations. The neck touch is one of the most overlooked signals in human communication. But now, you know exactly what it means, where it comes from, and how to actually use that information. Your job now is just to start watching. Because once your eyes are open to this, you'll never sit in a conversation the same way again, if you want to keep going deeper into this stuff. Subscribe, and see you in the next video.